Hi, my name is Stephen Price, and in this sound.net.nz post I'm going to take you through how to set up an effects bus in digital audio editing software. I'm using Pro Tools for this demonstration, but this technique applies to other recording software that incorporates mix buses also. So what we have here is a pretty basic recording session. You can see just a few backing vocals and a choir. I've got a reverb on each backing vocalist to set them back in the mix in relation to the lead vocalist, who has minimal if any reverb on their voice. Digital audio software takes lots of samples from the original audio signal, and these are then delayed and mixed together at various levels to create the reverb effect. In practicality, these delayed signals are stored in the computer's RAM, or memory, and can take up a bit of space. Reverbs can also be processor intensive to work out the algorithms required to get the sound of the reverb you are after. The more reverbs that one uses, the more RAM that is required to enable the effect, and quite quickly you can run out of system resources and the session will stop playing and display an error. One of the easiest ways to economize on our use of resources is to share effects between channels. For example, one reverb working on multiple channels, instead of multiple channels having their own reverb each. In the example I have here, to be honest, each of the backing vocals and the choir does not need its own individualized reverb. I'm only using the reverbs to set them back in the mix, to allow the lead vocal priority, not for creative effect on an individual basis. So they could all have the same reverb settings as each other. Let's go through how we can set this up using mix buses. What we first want to do is disable the current reverbs on each channel. So we'll just disable those. We'll save these for later if we need to check any settings, etc. That's why we don't delete them. We then want to create a new auxiliary input, or aux input. This can be mono or stereo, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to call that BV Reverb. I'm also going to set the volume of that to around 0, so that anything we send to this channel comes out at the level we sent it through at. Now I'm going to put the reverb on. Add a reverb, and I'll set some settings for this. Now with the mix we want to keep that at 100%, and that means that we're only getting the wet signal, or signal that is only from the effect coming through as the output on this channel. Once this is done, we get to the key part. At the moment there is no signal going to this channel. What we want to do is set it up so it accepts input from an internal routing bus, i.e. no signal leaves the computer but it gets sent to where we want it to go. To do this, change the input source on this channel to an unused bus. So I'm going to use bus 1. We still don't have any signal going here. What we need to do is send from the channels that we want to have the reverb on to this channel. So for each individual channel we're going to add a new send to the bus we have the reverb on. Once this is added, we have access to a volume fader to assign how much signal is sent through to the reverb. You can see that's coming through now. This, in tandem with the volume fader for this channel, down here, now becomes the wet or dry adjustment for the reverb on this track. For 100% wet signal, we set the track fader to minimum and the effect send fader to whatever we want. A balance of the two faders will give you the best results. If you have any questions about what I've done here and why, please ask me questions at sound.net.nz and I'll be happy to answer you. Till next time, thanks for watching.